Say you don't wanna be with me, but you miss me as soon as it's over. Your name lighting up the screen, but you never call when you're sober. You say you don't like the games, but you play me like there's no tomorrow. You should know that I'm fed up with your lies, so don't come closer. You know you hurt me bad and I have scars. I need some time to heal, so don't come over. Don't even bother calling, just get lost. I'm fine on my own, so don't even bother to come back, 'cause I ain't done. I'm fine on my own, and boy, your pretty little lies are getting old. All the nights I have wasted on you are gone, 'cause we are through. All the nights I have wasted on you are gone, 'cause we are through. You say you don't wanna be a thing, but I'm not the one who's calling. I'm tired of waiting for you to change into someone who could love me, but you play me like there's no tomorrow.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca. If you are new here, I'm a stay-at-home mom of 2, and I do upload a ton of homemaking, cleaning, and everything that has to do with mom life. In the meantime, I'm actually recording just anything that we do in the backyard. If you've been around for a while and you know that our backyard was all dirt, it looked exactly like this with no weeds. When we first purchased our home, my husband and I are slowly turning our backyard into our dream backyard for our home, for us and for our kids. And I just like to record and kind of take note of everything that we've done and how far that we've come. So we are planning out 2 new decks over here. My husband's gonna have a workout deck for himself and the kids and me and all of that. And then we're gonna have our barbecue grill, which we've since moved to the other side of the gazebo. We're planning walkways and all of that. But in the meantime, I am actually gonna try my hand at a dry pour concrete curb and a dry pour concrete fence post. We're gonna kind of reinforce the fences. We don't know what ran into the fence, but something ran into the fence, or it was just the wind. We had a crazy storm a few months back, so we're still trying to like hammer that out. The fence is totally fine. We are gonna stand it back up and reinforce it, but we're on this side of the fence, and as you can see, we have this trough. I don't really know what else to call it, but it's a concrete curb that runs down our property, and it's basically like a creek in the winter, and it just flows with water. We've actually had our backyard overflow before. You can see there's quite a bit of weeds and debris, and honestly, it's just such a shallow space. It's really hard. We tried to envision what we could plant in here, and it just is an area that I personally don't think anything would thrive. We planted trees in our backyard orchard on the other side, really close to this fence, and they just seem to burn the trunk of the trees. So I'm really hesitant to plant anything in here along the fence line. It's really shallow, and it seems like it would be a nightmare to get any sort of plant to thrive in this environment. So what we're going to do is we're going to dry pour concrete so that when the winter comes, anything that flows up here will just flow nicely down the stream. My husband, as you saw earlier, has done quite a bit of concrete work in our backyard. We did a curb around the kids' play area with the turf, and it turned out beautiful. This is not by any means a tutorial. I'm just sharing our experiences. So take what you can from this video, leave what you don't want. I'm just a mom with a bag of concrete. So my husband kind of gave me a really quick overview of what I could do, and I was like, hey, I want to try my hand at this. Anytime my husband is doing a project, I'm like, hey, teach me how to do it. I would love to learn. And he is super willing to teach me. So he's like, go ahead, you try the side of the fence. We're not looking for it to be completely smooth, so you will see at the end it's not completely smooth or leveled out, but we purchased pallets of concrete. Like I said, we have to kind of repave all of this concrete. It's cracked in different places, it's missing, what have you. So we have a ton of concrete left over, a little bit more than we estimated, but we bought it when it was on sale last year. So here we are. I'm going to pick out all of the weeds, any of the bigger rocks, and anything around the fence post that just kind of due to erosion, a lot of the dirt is missing or some concrete is cracked. My husband is just letting me know, like, hey, you know, make a little bit of a lip next to the concrete curb or trough, whatever you want to call it, so that the concrete is a little bit level, if not below. That way it can actually set correctly. And yes, there are old chain link poles that were never dug out prior to this fence being in. We're just going to work around that. So I'm going to get most of the debris out of the way, and then we'll clean out the trough on another day. It was pretty warm today, so we're just doing what we need to do. And then we're going to wet the ground. My husband was like, wet the ground a little bit so that the concrete has something to stick to, and then we will start pouring the concrete. Tamping down the dirt again, I got rid of all of the weeds, any extra like weed stumps, big rocks, anything that couldn't basically be flat. We're not making this perfect. Honestly, I'm pretty proud because I did all the way down our property line, and it was super fun to learn something new. And I'm honestly super intrigued to try a larger concrete pad. So if you've ever done dry pour with concrete before on a larger scale, definitely leave any of your tips and tricks down below. We didn't know that this trough existed. My husband actually dug this out, and we're like, okay, this makes sense. I don't know why it was ever covered up, but it was just piled high with dirt. So when they actually put the fence in, you could tell that the concrete obviously wasn't supposed to be this high. So eventually we will build it back up, but for now this is gonna work and it will suffice through winter. So I layered it on pretty lightly, and my husband was telling me, he's like, you're gonna have to do it thicker so you can kind of be a little heavy-handed with this, which I learned later. And I honestly just started sprinkling it, making sure that it was pretty much level to the eye, and then you go back and smooth it out as best you can.
Flying over streets and our broken hearts, but they can't even touch us. We found a different beat. Paradise is waiting and we bought the leads. Oh, getting caught in the mist, there's so many that never get out of. They're feeding the fears and the doubts. Ooh, but we're golden, we run to the end and we run without shame. We own the game, and we ride on the flames till the morning light. Baby, 'cause we're dynamite. Ain't nobody gonna hold us down. Break all the rules, let them run and hide. Baby,
think in total I used maybe 4 bags of concrete, and you can see my husband was trying to tell me, he's like, that's probably not going to be the best idea using that tool. I had no idea what this was for, but I knew it was flat, and he's like, if you use the back edge of it, it will basically kind of smooth over everything, and any of the larger chunks just break it up. Again, we're using the concrete that we had on hand. I think you can buy Quikrete. It ranges, we're actually in California, so for us it ranges from like $3 to $6 a bag. It depends on where you buy it from, the brand, and what time of year you do buy it. Just make sure that everything is pretty much level or at least flat enough to your liking. You can see I'm using the back of this little trowel. I think this is what you use to clean up the edges. We used it with the curbs you saw in the beginning around our play area. I used mostly my hand just to kind of make everything a little bit level, and then you're gonna go back and lightly spray it every hour. On the hour, we did it like every hour for like the first 4 hours, and then I'd go back out and check, and then I think it was like every 2 hours. So I would mist it maybe 6 to 8 times throughout the day, super lightly. You'll wait for it to set, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. So I did stop at that point because my husband is going to use a form and kind of finish the trough going towards the back. What that's going to look like, we're not quite sure because it's kind of a wonky setup back there, so I'll include that later in a later video. This is how everything turned out. It's holding up amazing. It was perfect weather. It dried super quickly. Is it smooth? No, but it will definitely keep the weeds out and help the water flow down our property so that it's not flooding our backyard. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or suggestions, definitely leave them down below. It'd be nice. This is my first time using concrete, and I will say I'm a little proud of myself. It is nice to just see that everything is a little bit cleaner and the fence posts are reinforced. Again, don't forget to subscribe if you like this kind of content. I have a ton of other cleaning videos, homemaking, homeschool, you name it. I'll see you guys in the next one.